the most that I have spent on a Casio is 7,500. Okay.
Okay.
Mainly because I bought most of these watches when they were on heavy discounts. One of the most popular watches from Casio, Duro, Marlin, also known as Bill Gates' watch.
It was something else which started this phase of getting Casios.
Right.
What was that?
It was a boredom of wearing the same watch, Apple Watch, for 10 long years. This watch, which is EF-V100L Edifice, this comes up for sale very rarely on Amazon. The moment it comes up on sale, it gets snapped up. I kept on refreshing.
How do you keep track of such watches? Do you think in future you will regret buying like 60?
I would have really liked for my son to begin wearing these watches. Right, he's in 10th grade. Right, at this time he's not into watches, but I am hoping that in a year or two he will begin wearing these too, which will also justify my purchase of so many watches. I would consider myself a budget Casio collector. More than a collector, I would call myself a Casio addict.
Hi everyone, today we have an exciting episode lined up for you. Joining me is a true Casio lover and a biker. And we have amazing collection here of Casios ranging from Gshock to Edifice. Hi Sathish, welcome to the first episode of the Watchlist Club.
Thank you and namaste.
How are you feeling today?
I'm doing great.
Before I get into all these watches, I would like to know where it all started. Like, what was the first Casio that you bought? Do you have that Casio still?
I still have that Casio which I bought 25 years ago, right? It certainly is in the box, right?
Okay.
This is the one. This is WS300H, 25 years old.
25 years.
It has an interesting story.
Okay.
So, I was in the US at that time, visiting along with a colleague of mine. So, there was this along with the Timex expedition, which were together in the showcase of Walmart, right? So, both of us wanted to have that Timex, right? It was kind of more vibrant, right? But it so happened that a colleague of mine who was with me ended up getting it, and I got this.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know whether he still has it or not. I still have it. 25 years later, I was able to get the Timex Expedition MF13. A little history behind this oldest Casio that I have.
As you mentioned, this was the first, but it was something else which started this phase of getting Casios.
Right.
What was that?
It was a boredom of wearing the same watch, Apple Watch, for 10 long years. Again, I was in the US when Apple Watch got released.
So you were kind of the first user
I did a pre-order. I was one of the first users of Gen 1 Apple Watch, right? I wore the same watch for almost a decade.
Okay.
Okay. And I wanted a change. Also, like you mentioned earlier, I'm a motorcyclist, right? So I wanted to, and in addition to that, I'm a kind of hiker also. I go on hiking once in 2 months, right? I have covered almost all the peaks of Western Ghats of Karnataka, right? So I wanted to wear something rugged, something beefy, more apt for the occasion, right? Which Apple Watch wasn't, right? So the moment I talk about a watch that is beefy, reliable and rugged as well as digital, what came to my mind was Casio. I had 3 Casios by then, which were bought decades ago, but I had absolutely no idea about their model numbers or anything, right? So I went on searching for the Casio that would suit my occasion. Eventually, after a couple of weeks or so, I ended up getting one, which started the Casio journey, and that is AE-1500. Yep.
This
is the one, right?
This looks very similar to what you're wearing.
This
right
is
now.
actually ProTrek, right? Which is, I would say, one of the advanced Casios with triple sensors, right? This is more basic. I got it on a deal for under 2,000 rupees.
When was this?
September 2023.
So it's almost 1 year, let's just say.
Correct.
In 1 year, you have 60 Casios.
Right.
Like, how did this happen?
Probably more than that, yeah.
Probably more than that. You have, okay, but how this did, like, if I say 60 Casios in 1 year, which roughly averages out like one per week.
Exactly, yeah. Right.
Why?
It's really difficult to explain, right? I would consider myself a budget Casio collector. More than a collector, I would call myself a Casio addict, right? In spite of having 60 Casios, I would like to consider myself to be in the initial phase of the collection journey.
Then what am I? I just own one.
During this period, more looks merrier, right? The excitement of owning an affordable watch more frequently than a more expensive watch less frequently, right? Maybe a few years later, if I'm still into watches, some kind of maturity sets in, and less may become merrier at that time, where I would focus on higher valued watches, right? Obviously lesser in number compared to.
What is that one Casio which you have gone lengths to like get?
It's kind of not very obvious. See, this is AE-3000, the biggest of all the Casios.
This is like what, 48, 50 mm dial?
Yes.
This is very big.
I think 55, right? And it's not available in India.
Okay.
Right? It caught my attention, and I kind of lost my sleep over acquiring it. Right?
This is a world time, no?
This is a world timer watch, and so are all these. We'll come to that later. We'll come to that later.
Okay.
But it was not available in India, out of stock everywhere. I guess it is a discontinued watch too.
Okay.
So I bought it on eBay, ebay.com, US, and it got shipped from South Korea.
South Korea.
Right. The moment I pulled the trigger, till the moment I got it, there was this mix of anticipation, excitement, as well as fear about whether I would be getting it or not, because this is an international shipment. This would attract customs, right? Then this was my first ever international purchase that I made, right? So this is the story associated with it, and it took about a couple of weeks to arrive, right? Barring that, I have this watch, which is EF-V100 L Edifice. This comes up for sale very rarely on Amazon. The moment it comes up on sale, it gets snapped up. I kept on refreshing.
How do you keep track of such watches?
Whenever you have time to refresh your Amazon, cart. Whenever it comes on sale, whenever it's back in stock online, pull the trigger.
Like, you have a lot, you can't wear all at once.
Right.
But if you have to pick like one, it's very hard to pick one to have a favorite among 60. But top 3, which you like more?
I would like to pick top 5 instead of top 3, as there are 5 boxes
Sure.
Right. So, I mean, this is the Enticer line of watches.
Okay.
I may probably pick this. Really difficult, to be honest with you.
Okay.
This one, which is a homage to
Seiko,
cocktail time. May pick this, and of course there are worthy contenders here. One of the most popular watches from Casio, Duro, Marlin, also known as Bill Gates' watch. Right?
What's the story behind this? You told me like the Marlin is not available in India.
Yeah. From what I hear, this was licensed to be sold only in the US.
Okay.
The watch with the Marlin logo, right? So it is available only in the US, not anywhere else. To the other markets, we have MDV-107. This is MDV-106, MDV-107 without Marlin
The Marlin.
logo, right? This is what I bought in India.
Okay.
This is what I kind of imported from the US, right? It's available for $49. It's a steel deal, steel case, rotating bezel, 200 meters of water resistance. What more do you require?
In 5K?
$50.
$50. That is what, 4.5K.
Right? So that's the reason this is one of the most sought after, one of the most popular Casio watches. Also owned by Bill Gates.
Okay. This one is also very unique. Like this is a cocktail time. Seiko has this design, but it costs around 45,000. The Seiko one.
This I paid around 4,500.
You can get a 4,000. You get a Casio cocktail, and it has a unique kind of glass.
It's a diamond cut glass.
It's a diamond cut glass.
Yeah.
Nice. This is an option.
One more similar to that.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, you have two diamond cut glasses.
Right. It has more complications.
Okay. Nice.
Right. These. See, I call this a world timer case.
World timer case.
This watch case has most, if not all, world timers. As you can see, there is a little world map on it, and most of these, if not all, right? This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. About half a dozen of these have world maps on them, right? So the region you are in is highlighted. For example, India is highlighted, right? Yeah. So this is the world timer case.
Just the world timer case.
Most of these are world timers.
Okay.
And then this is Enticers. So the metal Casios, which are mostly analog, and a few NRDGs also. I think there are basically three tiers: Enticers, Edifice, and Oceanus.
Okay.
Right. This is entry level tier, mid tier, the top tier, and obviously you can't afford an Oceanus.
You can, you just don't want
which to. May be having titanium cases, sapphires, and whatnot, right? And then you have possibly the most famous lineup of Casio
Gshocks,
right? Which I guess everybody knows about.
Yeah, I'm wearing a Gshock today.
Right. The most popular amongst Casios is a model F91.
Yes.
Which fortunately I don't have, but I have its bigger brother W217H. It's supposed to be bigger and better than that, right? Is what I have instead of F91W, which is the most sold and the most popular Casio, owned by Osama and Obama.
Obama both, yeah.
Okay.
Nice. So, you got this in just 1 year.
Right, yeah.
And what would be the average cost of a watch here?
Difficult to say, but the most that I have spent on a Casio is 7,500. Okay. Mainly because I bought most of these watches when they were on heavy discounts. I wait for the deals to arrive, and I pull the trigger. I have this self-imposed limit of $100 a watch. Right, and never ever have I exceeded it, with only one notable exception. This Pro Trek, which was unfortunately when I bought it not available for 7,500.
How much was it?
I paid around 11,200 for this. Right, this is only the exception. Barring that, no watch is priced about 7,500. Even though some of these retail for 12,000 or even more.
Like this Edifice sapphire crystal. This is a sapphire crystal, right?
One of my favorite Edifices.
Yeah, I love this. I love this watch.
Yeah, it's very slim.
I checked on online. This was 11 or 12,000 or something. I
bought it for 7,200 or so when it was on a sale.
Okay.
Right.
So if we have to assume an average cost, what would that be?
I don't know. Maybe 5,000, 4,000.
4.55K.
Around 4,000.
Let's just say 5K.
Yeah.
And you have 60 watches. Yeah. That accumulates to almost 3 lakh rupees.
Correct. Yeah.
Now, I'm a guy who likes to own automatic or mechanical watches. Now, if I have, let's say, at an average price of 50,000, I'll just have 6 watches in 3 lakhs, and you have 60. Neither of them is justifiable. But how do you justify yourself here?
Like I said, this phase, more is merrier. But number one. Number two, all these are great watches. Honestly speaking, I mean, look at this. How elegant this watch is.
Yeah, the Roman
which I got for 5,000 rupees, even though it retails for possibly 10,000 or more. Right. As far as elegance is concerned, I don't find the luxury watch. I don't feel that those luxury watches deserve their price tag. Number one. Number two, automatic, according to me, is impractical. I appreciate and admire what gets into making an automatic watch, right? However, for me, it is not practical as I have to possibly wind it, every day. I mean, if I happen to have, say, 10 watches, right, with, I don't know, 40 to 50 hours of power reserve, right? And if I am in the habit of wearing a different watch every day, right, circulating amongst watches, the moment I get up, I need to, wind the watches, or I have to have that automatic winder, which, according to me, is impractical. So that's the reason I'm primarily a quartz guy.
No, I agree with this. Like, for example, I have like 4 or 5 automatics, but if I'm in a hurry, I pick up my Gshock and leave. Because I don't have the time to like set time again
exactly,
and wind it.
Yeah.
So that is totally reasonable. Do you think in future you'll regret buying like 60?
Correct, yes. I mean, there is a mix of excitement, pride of possession, as well as guilt, to be very honest with you, right? So I am guilty of acquiring too many watches in too little time, right? But the consolation is I haven't paid more than 7,500 rupees or $100 on any of these watches, right? But yes, there is this guilt that to some extent bothers me.
And what does your family think about like this new hobby of collecting watches?
They have been quite supportive.
Oh,
right?
nice.
I would have really liked for my son to begin wearing these watches. Right? He's in 10th grade. Right? At this time, he is not into watches, but I am hoping that in a year or two he will begin wearing these, which will also justify my purchase of so many watches.
So among these, do you have a go-to Casio? Because for me, I just have one. So I have a Casio to go, but do you have a go-to Casio?
Certainly not, but if I have to pick one, I can pick one. I have to pick one amongst these Gshocks, right? Not any of those dress watches. Right? Maybe I'll pick this one, GBD200, right? It has a beautiful MIP display, memory in pixel display.
This is solar?
So legible. No. This is Bluetooth, it's not solar.
Okay.
So this is solar.
The strap also has some patterns.
Correct. This is called Midnight City Run.
Okay.
This glows in the night.
Oh, it glows in the night.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe a special edition GBD200. So.
And how much was this?
Again, on a deal, it was 7,200 or so. It retails around 12,000. Right. So this one, and this one, these three form what they call G Squad. All of these These G Squad, they have step counters and they have Bluetooth.
Okay.
Okay. GBD 800, GBA 800, and GBD 200. Right.
Okay.
So coming back to your original question, maybe this is my go-to watch. Right, and
this looks nice. I like the color of the green and text and this
slimmer. Right, and this is very, very legible. Compare that with this one. This also has a negative display. This is absolutely illegible.
Yeah,
and so is this.
The difference is quite visible.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This is very prominent in terms of visibility.
Correct. So that's the reason this is one of my favorites, and possibly the go-to watch. And of course there would be contenders, but maybe. That's the one.
Now, as established, Casio is a value for money watch.
Correct.
And I would like if you have something to tell out to our viewer who is trying to get into watches or who is going to buy his first Casio or Gshock, what would be your advice?
Again, purchasing a Casio is not going to break your bank for sure, right? There are Casios available for 600 rupees to more than 60,000 rupees. The ones with titanium, carbon fiber, and so on, MTGs, MRGs, and so on, right? So, buy a Casio according to your budget, right? If you can wait for the deal, and and purchase what you like. For example, this was on sale for less than 4,000 rupees during the latest.
Big Billion Days.
Big Billion Days sale. This is solar, and this is the classic G Square 5600 UE, the most popular Gshock.
And how much did it cost in like the sales, and what did it cost?
I bought it for 4,500 rupees or so.
Okay.
Much before the BBD sale, I hadn't even known about BBD sale. I hadn't even known that prices would be so less during BBD sale.
So what's the difference?
But again, this retails for around 7,500.
Okay.
Right. But when I bought it, it was around 4,500, but not during BBD sale. I bought it on Amazon as far as I remember.
Okay.
Right. So wait for the deal. Purchase according to your budget. Right. I can't obviously give any specific recommendation. Right. And of course, you can go with the popularity. Right. Okay. Gshock. Here is G Square. Right. Edifice. Here is this EFR 108 with sapphire glass.
Yes.
Right. And if this is world timer, here you have the most popular world timer, Casio
The
Royale.
Casio Royale.
Right. I mean, again, another worthy contender is this Casio also. And if you are into a little bit of history, this is AW-500.
I would like to know more about this.
This is the reissue of the first ever analog digital Casio Gshock, which was made in '89. This is a reissue, right? And I have another one. Right? AW-500.
Yeah, the red one looks very vibrant.
These two are my two of my favorites, right? So yes, and also I am told that market is flooded with fake Casios, right? One thing that you need to do is do a thorough visual inspection. Even if visual inspection doesn't reveal that whatever you received is a fake one, make sure to register every Casio that you purchase with the Casio India website, right? Using the serial number, which would be either on the case or on the case, the watch's case back, right? So that will give you assurance that whatever you have is a genuine one. Even if it doesn't happen to be genuine, there will be a warranty that will be covered if you successfully register your product.
Got it.
Right?
Got it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sathish, for your time. I really enjoyed our conversation. I hope you do too.
Certainly. This is my first ever interview, I have to say.
Nice.
I'm thankful to you.
And to my viewers, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit that like button, and if you have any feedback, leave it in the comments. I'll see you next time.